I'm Lauren Whiteurst. I'm a certified personal trainer and certified nutrition coach.
Hi, I'm Sunni Lippincott. I'm a certified professional life coach and a certified brain health professional. And together we make
Whole Life Vitality. We teach whole life vitality of the mind, body, and soul, bringing the physical, emotional, and spiritual together for whole life wellness. Welcome, friends.
Welcome.
We are here on this lovely morning with you to talk about something so important to us today. Sunny,
Yes.
you did something just so phenomenal, and we have talked about it before, but I feel like it is time for a reminder for our friends here, our community. It's time for a reminder. You did something that I am just so unbelievably proud of you for. What was that thing that you did?
I wrote a book.
You wrote a book.
I wrote a book.
So freaking cool. So cool. How long did that take you to write a book? Was it like a weekend and then you're just, I'm good.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
If you are wanting to write a book, or you feel that call, you might want to fast forward this part. Just warning.
Which is really funny because I'm in the process of writing a book and listening to Sunny talk about it. I'm like, what have I gotten myself into?
It was 100% one of those things that if God had told me ahead of time what the process looked like, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But it took me 5 years.
Goodness. Mm-hmm. Why did it take you 5 years?
Because I suffer from perfectionism. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's real bad. And I want things to be done great. Like the minute that I start and the minute that I pick something up.
That is so interesting that you say that, because even as I'm writing my book and I'm, putting stuff in, then I'll go over and over and over a section and I'm like, I'm barely in the rough draft phase, guys. Like, we're just getting started here.
Yes.
Okay. There's no reason to get anywhere near perfect with where I'm at. But is that what you were doing as well?
You know, what I told myself is that I'm just going to write and I'm not going to check things. I'm not going to worry about, periods and commas and, quotations.
No
and
editing.
R's and just no edit. I'm just going to write and then I'll go back.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I knew that I needed someone to kind of push me along. So I called my sister-in-law and she agreed to be my accountability partner. So I set myself a goal of just writing like 2 pages a day.
Does that mean you can do the font really big? You're like, 2 pages. Come on. You're like,
well, and I don't even know how much it actually was because I was just writing it on my MacBook. I had the pages, is what it's called, pages for Mac users. You know what I'm talking about. And so it was just like 2 of those typed pages every day. And that was it.
would that start you out and then you'd feel the urge to keep going sometimes? Or were you just like counting down to the end of that second page?
So that it's funny. I am such, like, if this is what I'm doing, then this is what I'm doing. So I would get to the 2 pages and I would stop.
Oh, interesting.
I would stop.
Okay.
And if I thought about something that I wanted to continue on with, then I would just make a note.
Okay.
Quick. But that's what I did.
Because you were afraid of getting burnt out?
Right.
Okay.
And so I was like, this is what I'm going to do.
There's so much trust that you build with yourself in doing that, because then the next day you can just get in and do those 2 pages and then step away. And not worry about losing hours and hours of your day.
Right.
And that's so interesting.
I was doing what I'm doing. I was coaching and I had a little one. I mean, Eliza was probably 2,
Yeah, she's so little.
And so I didn't have a whole lot of time. So I would set that goal. And sometimes I would come back and completely scrap what I had written the day before because I did not like it. And so it was a process. It was a lot of that. A lot of some days it just came. And then some days it took all day for me to do it. Like I would have to get up and come back to it because I was just, I mean, I was blocked,
Yeah.
just blocked on what I was trying to say or where I was going to go. And I would have to step away from it a little bit. And, but the first time I don't even know how far I was along in it. And my husband he still is so proud of it and of me. And it was wonderful. But he, in his, very proud state, he took what I had written and he sent it to some people. Now, like family or,
Yeah, just
hey,
to say, hey, look what Sunny's
Sunny is doing.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had done that.
Yeah.
Well,
How'd you handle that?
Well, the perfectionist part that I talked about earlier, one of the people came back, and I didn't even know that he had done that, but came back to me, and I would not say that they ripped it apart because they were not trying to be unkind,
Yeah.
but they just started pointing out things that were wrong.
Yeah.
And inconsistencies and, errors. And, hey, this doesn't flow well and this doesn't sound.
And that's a gift. That is truly a gifting that some people have where they can see all of those little pieces that are off. And they're wonderful when it comes to doing detail work. But it's one of those prime moments. I know we've talked about it before with like waiting until you're asked for help.
Yes. Yes.
Rather than just giving the help.
Yeah. So that's why I tell a lot of my clients that when you have a calling or something that you are working towards, a goal that you're working towards that means a lot to you, it's a gift. So it's a really special gift. And it's a gift that only should be shared with, people that you deem like worthy to share it with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they can snuff out that.
In the beginning, because there's a point.
Fire.
There's a point when you were ready to obviously like share it with the world.
Right.
Publish it and let the people, let our community read it and experience it for themselves. But in those beginning phases, when your flicker is just so fragile,
it's still just barely burning.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? I knew. This just confirms that I can't do this.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? No one's going to read this. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do this. The perfectionist part said you failed.
Yeah.
So I shut the computer, like literally shut the computer, and I put it away for years.
Wow.
Years.
Isn't it so interesting how often that happens? I think just with goals in general, where we get really excited about something and we get a plan and we get all in and then a bump in the road.
Yes.
And it's not that the desire goes away, but we're just feel defeated.
Yes.
Because you're like,
perfect.
well, I can't do this anymore. I can't win. So there's really no point in continuing. Maybe it's something that I still want, but I can't win. So why bother?
Yeah, but did God really tell me to do this? And that's what I just kept questioning. And so I put it away. And my husband would not give up on me.
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
He's so good.
He brought it up to me regularly. And he was so apologetic of what had happened because he didn't know.
So many good intentions.
Yeah, he had great intentions. He was trying to do it to help encourage me.
Sure.
And it just did not happen in that way. And so he was so apologetic. And he never pushed it on me, but it was always after some time had passed, hey, when are you going to write your book again? Like the world needs your book. You have a gift in this, in your story, and people need to hear it. Someone needs to hear it. And I was like, okay. Well, because of his persistence in that, one day, I got the computer back out and I opened it back up and I said, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. And so I started again. I started writing again, still with the same, that I'm just going to write. I'm not going to worry about, we will work through that in the end. So I
That's
just
a problem
wrote
for
and wrote.
later, Sunny.
That's yes. And I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and it was interesting because I really had been working on my mindset, really working on my mindset. And I was in a totally different place
Yep.
with this part of the book. I had learned so many new things
Yep.
that I didn't know in the beginning part of the book. So it's like the first part is me, and then the second part was like a whole different me.
So interesting. I wonder, just that you're saying this now, I wonder if there's any aspect of that second part of the book that actually kind of points back to that time, that break that you took, and how you grew over that, even because of taking the break, because of the way that all went down, that shaped.
And God's timing is always perfect, because the things that I learned to help myself and to grow myself, I was able to integrate into the book that I didn't have when I first started. So God used that time just to grow me as a person. And that showed up. And so the second part was a lot easier to write, actually, than the first part. And I was a lot more confident, with what I knew. Maybe not my abilities to write, but with what I knew.
Yeah.
I was confident about what I was writing about, because even then it was helping me.
Yep.
So I wrote it and finished the book. And at that point, I was able to send it off to get edited without the fear of, like, is this good enough?
Yeah. I mean, come on, it's editing. Like, their whole job is to find the things that are wrong.
And so I actually did that 3 different times. I sent it off 3 different times to get edited. And each time I thought, it's always red too. I don't know why edits are always in red. It's like
Isn't
that
it
color
so funny?
is harsh. But even with that, God placed the people that were just so kind to me about it. They were so encouraging, and always, hey, this was wonderful. We just need a little more here to explain this part. But it was
Yeah.
always an encouragement, and then you can put this or you don't have to. It was,
That's
you gave
so
you the
awesome.
option of keeping what you wrote or accepting their edits. But it was wonderful, because I actually was like, wow, I see what you're saying there. That's great. Thank you so much. But they encouraged me the entire time. It never felt like I was getting kind of, like, I don't know, not really shamed, but that I wasn't good enough.
Well,
for
and
it.
it's so interesting because even just looking at the time in between the first time that got sent out and then the second time when you chose to send it out,
Yeah.
you said you've been working on your mindset over the course of that time in between. And isn't it so funny that now, instead of you receiving that feedback and saying, well, I am not a good writer.
Yeah, instead of confirming my doubts.
Yep. Instead of saying this is somehow an innate, inherent defect that I have in me, and then there's no way I can actually write this book.
Yeah.
You thought, oh, look, there are a few things that I can learn from this and continue to go forward.
Yes, and I really did use that as a way to make it better. Like, that's the kind of mindset that I had, and that point was, this is helping to make the book better. But it also encouraged me. It never made me feel like I wasn't adequate for this. And so that was a blessing. And that really took so long. And then after it was done, I hit another period of imposter syndrome, where all I had to do was hit submit to publish.
Just submit it. That one button. Oh, that's when the enter button becomes like the thing in the scary movie where it's like done.
And see, so this is it. This is the book.
What's it called, Sunny?
From Anxious to Zealous: How I Took My Life from A to Z.
And I feel like that is literally what you just described as you told us about even just the writing of your book. You're like from anxious to zealous.
Yes.
Except for there's so much more in this book than just the walking through writing a book.
Oh yeah, that's it. So much. And that's what hit me.
Yeah.
When I went to hit submit, I started thinking, because this is a book about, it's like a biography, but it also puts into place everything that I learned to help myself when I had anxiety disorder and some, even with my eating disorder, and
The topics in it are a little bit heavy in that it's real. This is real life. This is a real person, real struggles that she went through. But I mean, I have a daughter who's about to be 15, and I would let her read it.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's written in a way that it's real, but it's not graphic.
Exactly. Yes. Just to put that, out there. My children have read it. Their friends have read it, and their parents have read it.
It's a great book, by the way. If you haven't read it yet, definitely get your copy on Amazon. We'll link it below.
But it did, my own family members didn't know these things about me. I had hid a lot of my struggles from the world.
Don't we all?
Yeah, we do.
Really,
we do.
And we all have our little box that we keep tucked away. And you're like, oh no, don't open that box.
Yeah, no, don't see that. And I'm a pastor's wife. I've mentioned that, and a life coach, and I'm very integrated into the Christian school that my children go to.
And so because of that, you never struggle, right?
Yeah, I never struggle.
Never.
My name is Sunni, so people automatically think that my disposition is always just one of happiness. And I thought of all the people that were going to see my secrets, and it was really hard.
Yeah.
It was real. The enemy really started attacking me, that people were going to see me in a different light.
I never get afraid that strangers are going to hear us speak, or that they're going to see what we post online, or that they're going to read the book. But I definitely have fear about the people who I know.
Yes.
Who know me and feel like they know me well.
Yes.
Reading or seeing what we post, and the judgment there.
Exactly. Yeah. And all of it really hit me. And I had to go through another period of working on my spiritual health.
Yeah.
Where I said, I was told this a long time ago, and it constantly is a reminder that anytime you experience fear, doubt, and worry, it's because you're thinking about yourself. And so I took that to God, and I said, I'm experiencing all of those things.
Yeah.
And it's because I'm making something that I wrote to help other people. I'm making it about me. Could you please walk with me in this? And he did. I talked through it with people that are close to me. You helped me. I have amazing friends that encouraged me and told me to go for it and to do it. My husband, and so I did. I let it go. And what should have been like the most amazing week ever, I got physically sick.
Yeah.
I got physically sick.
Isn't it so amazing how your body processes those emotions?
Yes.
Man, they just come out all sorts of crazy sometimes.
I got so sick. I had the worst week of top 10 worst weeks of my life. It was awful.
Well, think about all the stress and anxiety that you had inside of you, and then you hit that button and it's like a flood. It's like a release, and your body's like, wait a second, what do we do with this?
Everybody wanted we had even talked about how we were going to celebrate.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh no, I can't do it. I don't want to.
Yeah. We celebrated more when you got your certification than when you published your book.
When I published my book.
That is so funny.
But I had to, again, before and after, just spiritual health. I took it to God, and I said, God, if this just helps one person.
Yep.
Can this just help one person? And it will be worth the 5 years that I put into this, and the struggles and the ailments and all of it. If it will just help one person.
And what the beauty of that is? It did.
It did.
Because it helped you.
It did.
That one person that it helped you. You walked through that, and your growth over the course of that time was huge. And then it continues to help one person, just one person at a time.
One person at a time.
And then another and another and another. And the amount of feedback that we have gotten about this book, guys, is just phenomenal. The way that it is helping people and the way that they are kind of seeing themselves in the book as they're working through it. If you, like I said, if you haven't grabbed your copy yet, you definitely want to get it. It is a phenomenal book, and we would love to hear your feedback on it.
It has been very humbling. Mm-hmm. It really has. I have had well more than one person reach out to me.
Just one person at a time.
And tell me how it helped them, and actually how it's helped them step into their own purpose and do the things that they've been putting off. And that's been wonderful for me. And then I got another gift on top of it, is that the people that I was so scared to be so transparent in front of have talked to me about it. And actually, family members has said, I am so sorry that you went through that and I didn't know. Like, we would have helped you. And it was wonderful. Like, there was no shame. There was no, like, nothing.
Not anymore.
No, there was not, like, no one has shamed me.
Yeah.
Or it's been just a beautiful process and a beautiful story. And
the shame that we feel is our own.
It's our own.
The only person who's shaming us most of the time is ourselves.
And that just encouraged me so much. I've been shown so much love and encouragement, and God, so truly that thing that you have that you're like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I should do. I can't do this. I didn't know how to write a book. And that's probably why I started, because I didn't know that I couldn't. I didn't know what I was doing. It's amazing that once you just say, God, I'm willing, that he will just illuminate just the step in front of you, just the next step. You don't have to know the whole path. You don't want to know the whole path. I'm just going to say, you don't want, you can't handle the truth.
Because what is out there, man, if we saw the whole thing right now, we would be scared. We would be so scared you'd be petrified. Like, we would not be able to move. We wouldn't be able to take steps forward towards it. That is one of the things I love so much about teaching. When someone asks me to teach, I taught a 6-week nutrition class, and it was just so fun. And when I get asked to teach these things, I always get so excited because I know I am going to learn so much in the process of preparing for it. Am I prepared that moment? No way. No. If someone was like, can you please teach this right now? I'd be like, hey, give me a minute to collect my thoughts and pull together what I want to share. Yeah. But I learn every single time, and there's just so much beauty in that.
And it almost just, like, it fills you up, and you get excited all over again.
Totally.
For your purpose. It's a gift. It is a gift. So take the step and just the step. Got it. Just illuminate the first step. Take the step and do it scared.
Yeah.
Do it imperfectly.
Yep.
Like, do it and get you, some people in your life that will champion you on. I don't recommend posting it on social media, what you're about to do. Yeah. It's a gift. It's a gift.
You can comment here though and say, hey, I'm about to work on something.
Yes.
You don't need to say specifics, and we can cheer you on from a distance.
You can actually private message us.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Tell us all about it. We are here for you.
Yes, absolutely. You need that. You need, without those people in my life, this would not exist.
Yeah.
So find those people, find your accountability, find your encouragement, your champion group, that will keep you on the path.
Did you give yourself any like little rewards or carrots or anything as you were working your way through this 5-year process? You're like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to reward myself in some way. Did you do that?
This is the one goal that I did not set myself a reward for. And I don't know if that's because I was just so scared of it, is so doubtful, or that maybe I just didn't want it to happen. Like, I don't know. But I guarantee you, it is one of the reasons that took so long to do it,
that's
because that will happen. I did not set myself an end goal, like an end date. I didn't set myself up, hey, when I do this, I'm going to get this. And other goals, I have done that, and it has kept me motivated.
And that's a huge element
It's a
in
huge
goal setting. We have podcasts about goal setting, and go back and listen to those if you haven't yet, because that timely and, with a reward and, keep you motivated over the course of that goal. It's such a huge element of it.
Yes, because it's not a matter of if you like start to falter.
You will.
It is when you win, because like you said, you get a little bump in the road, and it just, it will sometimes, a bump will throw you for a loop.
Yeah. And it could be just a time thing where all of a sudden you feel like you don't have time for it anymore, and you were prioritizing that space and now you're not. It could be health, it could be family, it could be job, it could be mindset. It could be anything that keeps you from continuing to progress to that goal, because in order to progress to something where you've never been before, you have to do things you've never done before.
Yes.
And that is a little intimidating, and that is a little uncomfortable, and that is not always rewarding in the moment.
Absolutely.
The reward is on the other side.
It's on the other side. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that you brought that out. It was so important. It's so important that when you start out, say, I'm going to set me a time to, by this point, I will do this.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that, hey, I'm going to write a book in 3 months.
Take your time.
Take your time. But say, hey, by this point, I'm going to have written the first chapter.
Yeah.
By this, I'm going to give myself X amount of time to write the first chapter. I'm going to make this measurable. And when I do that, I'm going to go celebrate with my friend.
That's right.
Like,
I'm going to get my nails done.
I'm going to go celebrate with my friend. Like, we are going to celebrate this. My champion friend, the one that I have, that knows it's encouraging me.
Yep.
I'm going to tell her, hey, I wrote the first chapter.
Or the rough draft, or the first 3 pages, or whatever
Whatever
carrot you need. I'm all about the little rewards. I'm an Enneagram 7, and I'm like, if you tell me we get to party at any point, I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it.
Party on, Wayne.
Right? Yeah. Gnarly. Totally here for it. Sunny, thank you so much.
Oh, you're
I
very
know
welcome.
it took a lot for you to write the book, and I feel like every time we talk about it, a different element of that process comes out. And thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
You're welcome.
Make sure you grab your copy. It is available on Amazon. It is available on Kindle, so you can read it instantly, or you can do like I do and get both, because I'm like, I need to read it on my Kindle, and I also want the paper version. I'm like, so I can go back and forth, and I'm like, what do I want to read today?
Yes.
I love it. I have both ways. So get yours today and get reading, and let us know, what are you working on?
Yes.
What are you dreaming about? You're a big, hairy, scary, crazy goal that you're like, oh, there's no way I could ever. And we can help you break that down. We can help you make that goal your reality.
Let us champion you.
Yep. Thanks so much for showing up today, friends. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Follow us on all of our social media platforms. Everywhere you are, you can find us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, friends.